Hello, and welcome to my virtual classroom. This classroom begins with a Start Here folder. In this folder, there is information on how to navigate the course. So there is information on me, the teacher. There's a Getting Started folder with resources on navigating the course and goals, as well as parent resources. There's a General Information folder with the syllabus, expectations, netiquette, and references. There's also a community discussion forum, library folder, and troubleshooting resources. The classwork folder has each lessons folder. The lesson folders are color-coded for the different parts of the lesson. Lesson number 1, Building Community, is the introductory activity to create a quilt square. Lesson 2 is the goal-setting activity. So first, students will complete a pre-assessment to assess their prior knowledge on nouns and verbs. Then they'll complete the goal-setting document. After clicking on the activity, students will see the directions to open the document with Cami. Once students are on the document, they'll record their scores from the pretest, as well as a strength and area of need. They'll also identify some background knowledge from elementary school and set their goal for these lessons. There's also a spot for students to come back to record their scores as well as strengths and areas of need from other assignments throughout the lessons. Lesson 3 is the investigation, where students will work on individual and group assignments. In this folder, there is a screencast on my instruction for nouns and verbs, just in case students need to come back to it as a refresher. Activity 1, Sorting Nouns and Verbs, is a Google activity. So students will click their document, and then there are directions for completing the activity, as well as pictures if students need to return as a reference. For the activity, students will drag the words from the word bank to the appropriate box on if it's a noun or a verb. Activity 2 is a Cami activity, again with finding nouns and verbs. In this activity, students will read a passage or have it read to them using the text-to-speech tool on Cami. Then students will use the other tools to circle all nouns, underline all of the verbs, then record the nouns and verbs in the correct columns in the chart. Activity 3 is the discussion board forum for this lesson. So students are provided with a video to review what we've learned. And then in their posts, they will list 5 nouns they've seen or encountered that day and 5 verbs they've seen or done that day. Students are also given reminders of discussion board expectations and how to respond to peers. Activity number 4 is the group assignment. Students are given a Jamboard link, and the first slide of the Jamboard has the directions. So students will, in their groups, assign their numbers 1, 2, or 3. Then they will go to their group slide, look at the picture, and using the picture, each student will identify 1 noun and 1 verb. They can't repeat. And then together, they'll use the 6 nouns and verbs to create 3 sentences. There's a different picture for each group. Additionally, in the Lesson 3 folder, there's a folder for extra resources which has links to songs, games, videos, activities, and other instructional resources for this content. The last lesson, 4, Show What You Know, has the assessment for this lesson. The directions provide expectations for students on what to expect for each section of the assessment: true or false, multiple choice, and short answer. There are 4 true and false questions, 4 questions where students will read a sentence and choose a noun or verb from a list, and then 2 short response questions where students will create a sentence using at least 3 nouns or 3 verbs. And that concludes my virtual classroom for a lesson on nouns and verbs. Thanks.